A resurfaced racetrack, lightning-fast race cars, and desperate drivers made for a wild Saturday at the Glen. Nick Yeoman back with highlights as preparations continue for Sunday's running of the IndyCar Grand Prix at Watkins Glen, presented by Hitachi. The day opened for the Verizon IndyCar Series with a 45-minute practice session to help teams prepare for qualifying. Things wouldn't go according to plan, however, for Joseph Newgarden midway through the session. In an accident that he described as a personal error, Newgarden's car would slam the wall, ending his practice early. Running closely behind Carlos Munoz, Michael Aloshin would also find the wall in practice when he backs his Honda in, damaging the rear wing. No surprise when the checkered flag flew, it was Scott Dixon with the fastest speed for the third straight practice. Next up on track, it was a 25-lap race for the Indy Lights Series presented by Cooper Tires. Points leader Santi Urrutia started on pole, but it was Belardi Auto Racing driver Zach Veach who would carve his way through the field and go from 5th to 1st on the race's opening lap. There would be plenty of beating and banging in the 25-lap affair, with numerous drivers ending the day with damaged race cars, but nobody had anything for Veach, who scores the win and closes to within 31 points of the leader, Santi Urrutia. With a second-place finish, Ed Jones closes at just 1 point behind as the entire Mazda Road to Indy, presented by Cooper Tires, travels to Monterey, California next weekend for championship weekend at Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca. Verizon P1 qualifying had just about everything on the menu, including some upsets, upset drivers, and 2 championship contenders left scratching their heads. Plenty to talk about in Round 1 Group 1 of knockout qualifying at the Glen. Joseph Newgarden's rebuilt race car almost had to be rebuilt again when he and Will Power nearly collide in turn number 8. How about some surprises? In just his second IndyCar weekend, R.C. Enerson advanced into the second round for Dale Coyne Racing. What a great weekend thus far for rookie Max Chilton as well, who made his way into the Firestone Fast 6 for the first time in his career. James Hinchcliffe had the pace to advance out of round number 1, but a spin in front of Will Power early in the session put that fast lap in jeopardy. IndyCar would not rule on the side of the mayor. He'd tumble out of the top 6, and Michael Aloshin would find himself into round number 2. Round 1 Group 2 was a little more tame. Drivers like Scott Dixon and Helio Castroneves would show great speed to advance. In the final moments, a red flag would be brought out for an incident involving Takuma Sato. Sato would back his ABC Supply Honda into the turn 7 wall, ending round number 1. In round 2, it appeared we'd have one of the biggest qualifying upsets of 2016. When the checkered flag flew, both championship contenders Will Power and Simon Pagenaud were on the outside looking in, clocking in with the 7th and 8th fastest laps. But another penalty would throw the final order into a state of confusion. Michael Aloshin would end the round 6th fastest, but found guilty of impeding Juan Pablo Montoya's fast lap. Aloshin would lose his fastest time, and all of a sudden Power found himself back into the Firestone Fast 6, joining Sebastian Bourdais, Tony Kanaan, Helio Castroneves, Max Chilton, and Scott Dixon. The drama would end right there, however, because when the Fast 6 took the green flag, Watkins Glen International once again was treated to the Scott Dixon show. Despite his 3 career wins, Dixon would grab his first career pole at the Glen, Will Power would rally all the way to 2nd, and Sebastian Bourdais will start Sunday's race from 3rd, despite running out of fuel on his final lap of qualifying. NBC Sports and IndyCar Radio have you covered with live radio and television coverage at 2 p.m. Eastern as Open Wheel Racing returns to New York for Sunday's IndyCar Grand Prix at the Glen, presented by Hitachi.